Okay, so I lied. I just kept fiddling around. Couldn't stop. Just can't stop myself. So we got the power cables installed. Check this out. So here is the hot wire. It's the hot wire and it goes on the hot side. You gotta put the hot on the hot, cold on the cold. And then we got the cold over here. It's a bit loose. I don't know. Maybe got enough room to snug it up or whatever. But yeah, around those wires. I had this guy going to the cylinder head, and I have no cylinder head bolts. I could reach one there. No, it's so far away. So far away. So anyway, I put it on here. But the bad thing is that thread in the bottom bolt is barely catching. But let's just hope it caught enough. It got the ran the dipstick back in there and filled her up with oil. One of those dipsticks is always kind of funny. It's always like it's like the first time you had sex in high school, if you did. But check this out. Signs of life. We got our dome light and our door buzzer. So yeah, we're not far. We're not far now. Lots of little tiny things, but nothing major. And we'll have this thing, we'll have it going soon. Is there anything else that I missed? I think I'm going to do that I didn't do. I don't know. But man, it sits so much higher. I look like used to like when I so just more bad omens. But when I did the drive shaft, when I did the exhaust in the original, the drive shaft was sitting in there. Can you see it at all? Not really. But when the exhaust was hanging down by the drive shaft, it was real close. But when I dropped it, the back springs were so busted out that it just sunk in, and it was like way above where the muffler and exhaust pipes were. But now it's kind of hanging down because we have rear suspension once again. So it'll be interesting. But like I said, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to stick my head in the sand and ignore it for the evening and have good dreams and a peaceful night, thinking that all is right in the universe tonight.
Hey everyone, continuing on with the Phoenix Project. I feel like ass today. Went to the gym, and as soon as I got out of there and started going home, I just like had that feeling like, oh man, somebody's been rubbing their dick beaters, their filthy, disgusting dick beaters. I don't know if you're sick, don't go to the gym, man. You're allowed the day off. Don't go to the gym. Just don't do it. Don't go rubbing your dick beaters all over the equipment, making other people sick. It's fucking gross. So anyway, I digress.
We have to get the fuel system finished up here. We got to get these guys over to here, and trans fluid in, wheels torqued. It's not a lot. Let me get down my list of stuff here. Fuel system, lug nuts, the exhaust. We got to get that in. Coolant. Bleed the brakes. Oh yeah, we got to wire up the relay for the fan and trans fluid. So those are things that we got to do before we can drive this thing. And I want to get it. It's Saturday midday. Did all the work this morning, and I want to get this thing down and driving. Here's the problem. So here's what's happening. It's been an ongoing problem. You see, got you lined up pretty straight. And you'll see the ass end of that car is over about a foot. Well, here's what's happening is that axle, it's dangling because this side is attached to the shock. This side is not, because I have to go in and fix that shock side, and it's hanging down. Every time I drop this thing down on the ground, this axle touches, and as it goes down, it pushes the back end over. I don't know how much, but enough that it's been moved over a foot. You can see the back lift, like this one's way in and that one's way out. So yeah, this thing's I gotta get it out of here, get it back in here straight, so I can work on that tail end and go up and down. But anyway, I think we can. This is doable. We're on a list of things. There's stuff I left off the list there that are like to do niceties, but
that's the big stuff. So let's get cracking on this fuel system and the exhaust system. Finishing up the last of the fuel lines inside the Phoenix, and I figured I'd take this opportunity to show you how to put these PTFE lines together. These are pretty cool. I sell this on the website. It's a pretty reasonable price. I do believe they are PTFE line, so it's like a plastic liner, a Teflon liner on the inside, and then they're still braided and nylon wrap. This is a non-conductive hose, so look into that. Some people get worked up about that, and you know, it is what it is. The easiest way to cut these guys, well, the only way to cut these guys really is with a set of cutters. These guys, you might be tempted to try to cut it with a speedy grinder. A lot of times you cut AN hoses like that and just cut it off. But what that does is it makes it too big for you to get the furl nut over. So use those guys. When you do cut the insides, it's going to look like this. And it's just plastic on there, some wires, and the braid. And then what I do is, before I cut it, I'll wrap it in electrical tape. And the cool thing is these guys sit, these guys, the hose sits on this guy here. It sits right here. So the easiest thing you do is just you take these two guys, put them on either side of where you need to run, then measure the distance between the two, and that's how much hose you need. So it's really easy to measure for these guys. And then this is how it's pretty much set up. There is this guy, you already saw that. There is this, it's called an olive. It's not a furl, it's an olive. There's a difference. And then this guy that goes over top of that, it keeps your olive in place. So I need to make a short little line here. It's going to be a little, this is dash 10 for the feed on my fuel system here. I'll try to say a little less. So the first thing you do is after you cut it is put your ends on. So I'm just going to take and put both ends on because I have to do both sides. And these guys are, I can't get away from the, they are the same. So the backs of these guys on the 90s, 45s, whatever, they're all the same. Then what I do is I take and I just kind of smash it so as to make it round again. And we take the tape off. That's why I have to have the reading glasses because I can't see things up close that good no mo. Where is it at? There it is. So you take off the tape, and that leaves it all fuzzy like that. And then what we need to do is, what I usually do is, this guy's going to be kind of ovaled in there. So what I'll do is I just take this guy and I just set it down in here and I just kind of rotate it around to kind of make it a little bit on the round side. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be a little bit round. And then you just take and you, with your thumb, you're just going to mash this guy out. Just be careful. It's going to poke the hell out of you. It's just like every AN line. And then the olive, it has a landing on the end of it, a register. So it just goes on and that register sits on top of that. So you just push this down until it sits on that guy, just like this. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll just take this guy and just kind of throw a little lubricant on there. That is Fuel Line approved lubricant right there. And I just kind of give it a little walk to
kind of fanned it out so I get it nice
and round all the way around. And then
you just jam it in there. The cool thing is that's already sealed. You're not counting on crushing this olive like you would on like aluminum fuel hose. It's already sealed. You just need to have this guy hold that olive to make sure it doesn't back off and become unsealed. So one thing you can get out of your mind is the idea that you have to crush that olive. You don't. I had some guy call me and he's like, do you have those in copper or brass or whatever? I said, no, they're aluminum. It's like, I have bad luck with the aluminum ones. When I crush them, they always leak. And I couldn't help him. I wanted to help him, but sometimes it's just best to try not to help people. Some people you just can't reach. So that's what we're working with right now. This guy here. And then what we're going to do is just kind of work this guy up over top of that wad. And the easiest way to do it is just give it steady pressure. Steady, even pressure, and just kind of let the threads pull it up. If I get like, there's a little bit of, there is a little wire booger in the way there, right now. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of push that out of the way. And it'll automatically just start kind of threading onto it, and you can get it usually pretty close to being all the way, like now, like that. And let's just go ahead and do this other side since we got it here, and then I'll all right. And then once we got these guys ready to go, then we'll just use a throw it of ice. I have a little aluminum on here folded over to make kind of like a set of soft jaws. And all you gotta do is just snug these guys down. You don't have to kill it. There's no need to kill it. That's pretty good. So there can be a gap in there. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, you're not smashing that. You're not smashing furls. You're just keeping the olive retained. There's a difference. Okay. There we go. One line assembled. And that's all there is to it. Pretty easy. So check them out. Check out the prices. It's a good deal. All right, so the fuel system is all buttoned up. We got the two new leads going in there. They're 45 and over to the shutoff valves, and the shutoff valves go to the filters, pre-filters, the what do you call these, fuel pumps, and they wire together to the dash 8 that goes all the way up to the fuel rail. So that is all done, and I believe we are next on to exhaust pipes. Yeah.